youngest player ever to score in a European Championship.
Lamine Yamal is ruling the football world right now. At just 17, this Spanish prodigy has not only broken records, but is also out here quietly living a life that makes most adults reconsider their life choices. From a jaw-dropping $1 billion secret contract and the world's most expensive Rolls-Royce, to gifting his parents a house at just 16. Oh, and wait till you hear about the diamond iPhones, private chefs, and actual yachts like it's no big deal. With an annual salary of over $1.78 million and a market value of $150 million, oh, and did we mention a release clause over $1 billion? This teenager is not just playing the game, he's owning it. But before the football stardom, Yamal came from humble beginnings. He grew up in Roca Fonda, a working-class neighborhood in Mataró, Spain. From there, Lamine moved to the legendary La Masia Academy, Barcelona's elite football factory that basically forges future legends. This place isn't your average school dorm setup. Think 5 floors, over 64,000 square feet of pure footballer luxury. It's got reading rooms with AC, game rooms, private bedrooms with killer views, and of course, access to exclusive training pitches. The whole thing cost around $68 million to build, $11 million of which went just to La Masia alone. It's a luxury hotel disguised as an academy, and Lamine has spent most of his recent years there, practically growing up on those manicured pitches. But now, he's apparently bought not 1, not 2, but 3 homes already. At 17, most kids are figuring out how to open a bank account. Yamal's buying property for his entire family. One house is in Roca Fonda, right in his grandma's neighborhood, because this guy's loyalty runs deep. Another one is near his mom's place, because Spanish boys know better than to keep their mothers far. And the third is in Barcelona, close to where his dad lives. Now let's talk about his spending habits. You won't see Lamine dripping in diamonds the size of ice cubes. Instead, he opts for a Rolex Datejust 41 in stainless steel with an Azuro blue dial and Roman numerals. It's sleek, it's elegant, and it says I'm 16, but I have the wrist game of a CEO. The watch is worth over 7,000 pounds and it fits his vibe perfectly. Classy, refined, and just a bit understated. Of course, being a world-class athlete isn't all pretty passes and post-goal celebrations. Lamine takes his fitness seriously, and he's not just hitting the gym with the basic equipment either. He uses a Hyperice Hypervolt percussion massage gun, which is like a tiny hammer for your muscles, but costs as much as a weekend trip to Ibiza. It's used for recovery and helps with soreness as well. He also wears a Polar Vintage V2 Sports smartwatch, a sleek piece of tech loaded with features like GPS, recovery tracking, and everything on your standard iPhone. And speaking of things that are optimized, his fashion choices. The boy dresses better than most of us at our own weddings. On match days, he's got his signature Adidas boots, like the X-Crazy Fast Messi Spark Gen 10s, which he's been specifically selected to wear. Yep, the only person besides Messi himself. These bad boys go for about $260. He's been spotted training in other versions of the same line, and none of them are cheap. He also rocks streetwear brands like Gallery Department and Lanvin. Think white tees that cost over $250 and sneakers that could pay your electricity bill. Now, before we dive into his insane private jets and wild endorsement deals, don't forget to hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and become part of our football crazy fam. Oh, and if you thought that was the end of it, think again. When it comes to travel, Lamine doesn't exactly queue up at the Ryanair gate. He's been spotted traveling with Barcelona on an Airbus A330, a massive plane usually reserved for international flights and Bond villains. Renting one of these bad boys costs around $30,000 per hour. But hey, when your release clause is over $1 billion, that hourly rate is basically pocket change. His father, not one to miss out on the high life, has also been seen flying around in a Cessna Citation CJ3 jet, a private jet that's all about smooth cruising and serious flexing. Chartering one of those costs around $3,400 per hour. And when he's not in the sky, he's on the sea, because of course. Lamine's also been seen enjoying some seriously luxurious boats. No exact models have been confirmed, but judging from the company and setting, we're not talking paddle boats here. We're talking sleek, high-end vessels built for people who summer in Ibiza and winter in Dubai. Moving on to his love for cars, and yes, before you even ask, he's still underage. Which means while most of us are learning the parallel park with sweaty palms and our dads yelling "break" from the passenger seat, Lamine Yamal was out here building a garage collection that looks like a Fast and Furious starter pack. So first up in his collection is the humble but sleek Audi A3, costing around $36,000. Now for Lamine, that's probably what he finds under his couch cushions. The Audi A3 is that stylish, reliable little beast that whispers, "I'm young, I'm fast, I won't embarrass you" at red lights. Then comes the Audi Q5, a performance model priced at about 59 grand. This one's got more muscle, more class, and definitely more legroom. It's the kind of car you drive when you want to be sporty, but also want enough trunk space for your gym bag and, I don't know, maybe your Adidas sponsorship merch? Now if you thought he'd just stick to the sleek city cars, think again. The man's got a Range Rover sitting in his garage like it's no big deal. Price tag? Around $80,000. That's house money in some countries. But hey, when you're making millions, a Range Rover is basically your version of a comfy hoodie. Oversized, chill, but still making a statement. And now let's get to the best one. The beast, the legend, the oh my god, how does he even own this car? The McLaren Artura. Estimated value? A cool $250,000 plus. This high-performance hybrid can go from 0 to 60 in just 3 seconds. It's not just a car, it's basically a spaceship with wheels. The kind of machine where the engine roars, the tires scream, and people on the sidewalk just stop to stare like they've seen a unicorn. And while we're recovering from that automotive flex, let's slide into something just as spicy, his taste for fashion and gear. Let's start from the feet up. He's got the Nike Vapor 15 Academy Mercurial Dream Speed, modestly priced at $86, which is practically his version of flip-flops. But that's just warm-up stuff. When it's game time, Lamine pulls out the big guns, like the custom Nike Mercurial Vapor 15s he wore in the Champions League, going for $196. And they're not just any boots, they're tailored for that extra flair and fire. But wait, we're still going. One of his show-stopping outfits featured a Lanvin shirt and sneakers combo, valued at over $1,490. That's elite-level dressing, and somehow Lamine still manages to make it look casual. And just when you think it couldn't get flashier, he tops it off with a Cernich iced watch. Stainless steel, water resistant, and blinged out just enough to let you know it's not from your local mall. Price tag? $660. But it's not just about how he moves, it's about how he's valued while doing it. Lamine Yamal's net worth is already climbing into the several million-dollar territory, and he's just getting started. At the moment, his annual salary from Barcelona is over $1.78 million, and that's just base pay. That doesn't include bonuses, match-winning incentives, goal rewards, and of course, brand deals that keep his bank account looking healthier than a green smoothie. And speaking of brand deals, he's locked in a long-term partnership with Adidas. Not just I got free cleats kind of deal, this is serious, long-term, generational wealth-making type stuff. He's practically the poster boy for Adidas' future, and they're betting big on him becoming the next global football icon. This isn't just smart, it's historic. Adidas has always had an eye for the next big thing, and they're clearly putting their chips on Lamine. That means custom gear, sponsorship perks, and possibly even signature shoes down the line. And with the way he plays, people will definitely be lining up for anything with his name on it. But wait, if you're still trying to figure out how rich he really is, just look at his market value. Right now, he's priced at around $145 million, which makes him the most valuable youth player in the world. Let that sink in. At 17, while most kids are trying to figure out their Snapchat passwords, Lamine is out here being worth more than entire football clubs. That number isn't just impressive, it's a clear sign that he's already being considered among the elites. And it's not some fluke either. Scouts, managers, and stat-obsessed analysts have all seen what he can do. And that 145 mil is a big glowing sign that screams this kid is going to take over. And as his fame continues to rise, so will the brand offers. Companies love a good story, and what's better than a young, humble kid from Rocafanda who made it to the top without losing his charm? He's talented, good-looking, stylish, respectful, and has the kind of charisma that makes even rivals want to root for him. In marketing terms, that's called gold. Don't be surprised if in the next few years you see Lamine's face on billboards for cologne, watches, video games, and possibly even skincare products. Because let's face it, he already looks like someone who wakes up with perfect skin and zero stress. But even with all the fame and fortune, what's honestly so refreshing about Lamine is how unbothered he seems by it all. He's not out here doing TikTok dances every hour or filming cringy influencer content for attention. He just plays, wins, and lives a life that looks like a Netflix teen dream but with more cardio. His interviews are calm, his gestures are respectful, and the most dramatic thing about him is how easily he humiliates defenders twice his age. He still visits his hometown, still reps his roots with pride, and makes sure his family is along for the ride. This isn't a kid who blew up and forgot where he came from. This is a young man who's building an empire with both feet on the ground, even if those feet are wearing cleats that cost more than our laptops. So yeah, the cars are wild, the jets are crazier, the clothes straight out of a Fashion Week catalog. But the best part of Lamine Yamal's life, he makes it all seem chill. Like he's accidentally become rich and famous and decided to make it look easy. He's not flexing to impress, he's just living. And every time he steps on the pitch, you know you're watching something rare, raw, and ridiculously exciting. And if you love football and want to watch more crazy goals, insane transfers, and wild player lifestyles, don't miss our next video.